Hi, how you doing? The next movie review is Get 'Em to the Greek. The movie was written by Jude Apatow, which wrote Funny People, Knockout. I think he wrote also my best I Love You Man. I think he wrote that too. Okay, so it's about Russell Brand plays this rock star who's very hooked on drugs. And then the fat guy, I don't know his name, but he's a fat. That's all I can say to describe him. He works at this record firm, where P. Diddy is the boss. And P. Diddy at a meeting says to everybody, "We need money. We need money. We're a record company. We need to make like $100,000. We need to make big money." And so he says, you know what? He says, "Oh, there's this rock star. You know, I love his album." And then he tells him, "Well, why don't you go get him and bring him back?" And so he's hired to do that. This movie was pretty. You know what? It was one of. Don't get me wrong. It was funny, but it was not the funniest movie I've seen. But it was still a damn good, funny movie. This movie is rated R, and I'm gonna warn you. This movie has a lot of adult-themed jokes, and I'm serious. A lot of the jokes is for adults. So if you have children, I don't know. That's up to you if you want to let your kids see this movie. But if you're an adult, I mean, you're in for the fun. But there's a lot of sex. There's a lot of sex, nudity, drug, alcohol jokes. There's a lot of adult stuff in this movie. So it really gives you that R rating. If you love R-rated movies, you're gonna love it. You're gonna have everything that makes it R-rated. Russell Brand, to me, he's not the greatest actor I've seen. It seems like he's typecast always as this man-child, and he always seems like he's always typecast as always kind of like a rock star slash actor. I don't know why he's always typecast. I don't know if it's because he may look like a rock star or he dresses like a rock star that he always get typecast into that rock star, character. But he plays one, and he, and then the movie, it was kind of a mix between Road Trip slash Bachelor Party, because a lot of it, like I said, it was adult themed jokes. There's even sex. They make fun of sex in this movie. Overall, I gave this movie a matinee. If this movie was in theaters, I wouldn't want to spend $14, but I would go on a weekday and just watch it for $6, because it was better than It was better than Little Funkers, and I didn't really like that movie that much. So this movie is better, much better. There was I'm gonna say like 3 really funny scenes, and you know what? Like I said, I have to keep repeating myself because I'm going to tell you one of them. And if you've seen the movie, that's great. If you haven't seen the movie, well, too bad. Why? That's my movie reviews. I tell you what happens. So one of the most funny the things I laughed out loud was Russell Brand tells them I think they're gonna fly to Las Vegas, and then Russell Brand has a bag of heroin. And he's like, "What are you doing, man? We're gonna go through the security checkpoint, and you got a little bag of heroin, dude. How the hell are we gonna get on a plane?" And he tells him, "Well," he says, "I need you to stick it up your butt." And then he's like, "Are you serious?" And Russell Brand says, "Yes, I am serious. Stick it up your butt." And so he sticks this heroin up his butt, and then next thing you know, he's walking strange, and there's a scene where Russell Brand says, "Oh, you know what? I changed my mind. Let's go on a later flight." And he's like, "What are you talking about? You just said we're going to go on this flight." And then they're talking to, I guess, maybe a customer service lady, but it's all at the airport. And she goes, he goes, well, why don't you tell the truth? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, maybe it's because maybe because you got a bag of heroin up your butt. And he's like, no, I don't have a bag of heroin. And it's just funny because, you know, he made this guy stick a bag of heroin up his ass, and then the scene continues, and he's sitting down. He's like, oh, I gotta sneeze, but he doesn't want to sneeze because the heroin in a bag is still up his butt. I mean. That was a funny scene, and I really enjoyed that scene. I thought it was just so funny, and it was just funny because, I mean, it was just rare because, you know, it involved drugs, but at the same time, it was just still so funny that this guy had to do that. So there was a lot of, you know, jokes like that. Overall, I gave it a matinee. I tell you, you're gonna love this movie. You're gonna laugh. Now, the only thing I had to complain. Well, you know what I like about this movie too, is I've seen a few comedy movies, and mostly comedy movies. What I noticed that they always, you know, they try to be vulgar, they try and be like, you know, oh, let's have sex jokes, let's try and be, you know, as vulgar as we can. What I like about this movie had heart, and you know, that's rare in a comedy movie these days, where you see a character really have heart. And you know what I like was that in the end, even though this guy was somewhat of a maniac, even though he was the most screwed up person you ever met, what I like about him is that he had heart. And it showed that, you know, that in the end, this guy was the most crazy, most screwed up person, because in the end, you know, he kind of grew up in a messed up way. And he also, you know, you know, I could go detail in the movie. I'll go a little bit. You know, he hooked up with his chick. They had a child together, and then you find out it's not his child. So in the end, you know, he's still in love with this girl, and it just kind of shows that, you know, this guy, he can be the biggest rock star, or he can be famous, but he's still not happy. And you know, there were moments where I thought there was only one scene where I kind of thought it was not disturbing, but it kind of bothered me. It was a scene where Russell Brand tells the guy he used to have a threesome with his girlfriend, and I thought that scene was a little bit boring, because I was like, you know, that's the dude's girlfriend. But whatever. So in the end, go watch it. It was decent comedy movie. No, it was not bad. It was not bad. And that is it, folks. Oh yeah, and yeah, P. Diddy was, and just for you folks, if you want to know how P. Diddy did in this movie, if they told him to be a jerk, well, he did a good job, because in this movie, he is a jerk. You know, he plays a good jerk. And the worst thing is, in this movie, he's a boss. So, he's somebody's boss, and he's a jerk at the same time. So, that's it, folks. And, hopefully, I'll see you again. Bye.